and welcome to a very special episode of the Good Vibes Film Club, the audio show that's like a book club, but with films. In the following weeks, we'll invite you to join along with our club and watch films along with us between the episodes, not physically at the same time because we don't have enough seats or space. My name is Adam Denby, and I'm joined every week by my better half, the lovely, the enchanting Sarah Warner.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm okay.
You just down some hot chocolate?
I did just down some hot chocolate.
Some peanut butter hot chocolate. Is that right?
Yes, but as we've discussed previously, I'm disappointed in the lack of peanutiness. It's not peanutty enough for me.
Okay. And what are we doing? What are we doing today?
I don't know. You tell me. Okay, no, I'm joking. So we kind of wanted to do this episode kind of like Adam was doing there to sort of set up what we're trying to do with the rest of the shows, rather than just launching straight into the films. Have a little bit of a get to know you session where you can just hear me and Adam have a little chat about stuff before you listen to us having more chats about different stuff.
About films. So this is a podcast about films, but in this specific episode, we're not going to be talking that much about films. No. And the reason for that is because we want to set up which films you need to watch for next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can have a space between now and next week to watch two films, one of which will be one of my favourite films and the other Sarah's favourite film, and then we talk about it together. So one of the things I want to do, apart from just get to know us, get to know what we're about, what kind of things we like, and connect with the audience, is I also wanted to tell you why listen to us? Why listen to Sarah and Adam talking about films? Because we're not famous people, are we? We don't
yet.
We don't interview celebrities.
Because we don't know any.
We're probably not that analytical with knowing all the directors' names and all the producers' names.
We're a little bit analytical, okay, but we're not like film journalists.
Yeah, that's the thing, and we never will be.
Probably not.
But what we are,
unless this really takes off in a major way, and then
we still won't be that good at it.
Okay.
What we are, okay, we're the average Joes. We're one of you guys, right?
Yeah. Oh, we should do dodgeball.
Yeah.
At some point.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Oh, yeah, I put it on my list. Excellent.
So we can offer a sense of community and bring everyone together. We're not trying to say that we're leading this thing and you are the listeners. We want everyone to be involved in our club. It's like a huge, big club that we're all a part of. Right?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think sort of as we've started making our list, like Adam and I have realised that there's quite a lot of like classic films we might not have seen. So, we're starting off with some of our favourites, but then, if things go well, if people want to suggest things like, I don't know, maybe based on what you've heard, you might say, oh, you'd really like this, or this is something different from what you've done, and we can go and just have a chat about it.
There's a lot of films that we haven't seen.
Yeah. Like, I only watched, I think, like last year, The Shawshank Redemption, which is always like considered one of the best films, or the best film ever made. Because I'd read
do it.
Yeah, I'd read the was it like novella by Stephen King, and I was like, oh, maybe I should watch this. I read it and it was amazing, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should watch this because it's supposed to be the best film ever made. And that was like last year at the age of 25 I finally watched that.
That's fine. I think that a lot of people won't have seen every film.
No.
Okay, and we're just one of those people. So the other thing is that we're good vibes. Okay, we picked the name Good Vibes because there's a lot of hate out on the internet, a lot of negativity. Whenever you read reviews, it's critical in a bad way. And actually, we're doing a podcast. We just want people to enjoy it and be nice about the things that people's art that they've worked hard on.
Yeah, like
sometimes it's not always the case. Because,
yeah, we maybe get a smidge negative at times.
It's constructive, right?
Yeah, but on the whole, it's just sort of we're trying to talk about things that we love and just sort of do it in a happy, constructive way.
But the other selling point is we're British. Right?
Why is that a selling point?
Some people just like British people, don't they?
A lot of people don't.
Well, for those of you out there who don't, give us a chance. Maybe listen to 2 or 3 episodes in and then switch off if you decide it's not for you.
Yeah.
If you really can't stand our voices. We did invest in some nice microphones, so...
Yeah, hopefully we sound all right.
And I guess we're passionate about films. This should be the obvious one. And probably, finally, we like spending time together with each other. So we think if we're having a nice time, then you guys at home will be having a nice time.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be no scenes.
There might be a bit of squabbling.
Oh,
but hopefully you'll enjoy that too.
The drama.
So the main question I had about this is, do you always need to watch the films in advance? What do you think?
Well, we kind of go through a plot summary, but then, we are going to talk about the film as a whole. And a lot of these films we're doing are like quite old. People might be kind of aware of what happens anyway if it's just an old film. But I would say you get more out of it by going and watching the film, because then you're going to know what we're on about, because we're only going to maybe skim over the plot.
Yeah, I've never seen The Sixth Sense, and I probably don't need to now because everybody's told me.
I'm like, should I still watch that? But I know.
Don't say it now in case anyone who hasn't. Do you always need to watch the films in advance? The answer is no, because we understand that people are busy. People are probably just walking to work and they think, oh, can I entertain myself for the next half an hour? Yes, you can, because if you haven't seen this film and you maybe don't actually want to, maybe you prefer to hear what the plot is and understand why people like it. Or if not, then you can avoid spoilers and jump off.
I would say it's not mandatory, but you probably will get more out of it. And a lot of the films we're doing are quite... there's a couple... I think there's a couple of yours I was like, I've never heard of, maybe a little more niche. Or not as mainstream, but some of them are pretty mainstream films that we're going to look at. So you might well have just seen it already.
So my point is that you can't expect everyone to watch 2 films every week.
No.
But, please... Well,
you're making me do it.
I know, but we're trying to do a podcast.
You should hold everyone to the high standards you hold me up to.
I'm just saying, if you look down at your podcast list and you haven't prepped and seen those films, then, you can just wait another few days, watch the film, and then listen to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're not forcing it into anyone's ears.
Oh, no. You do it at your own pace. Like, we'll release them once a week, but... you can spread it out more. That's fine.
Some people have different listening habits. So people do like start from the beginning and they listen through like 50 podcasts and go, I'm up to date now. Other people just listen to the latest one.
Yeah, I've done that. I've binged podcasts, yeah.
Yeah, especially if you get bored and they haven't released a new episode and you just go back and listen to them. Yeah, so you can start on episode 1 and you'll have no problem. But if you want to get to know us, then here's the podcast. Okay, so coming up in this podcast, we're going to have a section to get to know us where we ask each other questions. Mm-hmm. There'll be like top favourite films, that kind of thing. And then after that, we have a section of questions which Sarah doesn't know at all what they're going to be because I've made them. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to swap and she's going to ask me some questions. She's prepared. Okay, and it's the next section. So, we have got some exciting questions for you. We're going to pretend that I've never met Sarah before, and I'm going to interview her for her top favourite 3 things from different categories. So, The first one, are you ready for this? Have you had a long think?
I've had a little think.
Because we did these questions together.
Yeah.
It's a really obvious one that ties to the show. What are your top 3 favourite movies of all time? No pressure.
That's the thing, like we said before, just say 3 you really like. They're not going to hold you to it.
Okay, well, let's change the question. Name 3 films that you really, really like.
Okay, I can do that. So maybe the top one lately is the Japanese animated film Your Name. I love that.
Why do you love that?
It's just emotional and the animation's just gorgeous and the music and the story and I just love it.
You got 5 minutes to get through all of these questions.
I'll say Edward Scissorhands. That's probably been my favorite, like the longest, probably since like my early teens, just because it's just a weird story and Johnny Depp's so good.
And that's coming up in our first episode of Good Vibes Film Club.
It is.
So stay tuned for next week.
Episode Edward Scissorhands.
And your third one?
This is where I got. So I'll say a Disney one, but I want to say one that I know we've not done yet. I'll just go Lion King. The Lion King.
The Lion King.
The Lion King. I feel like I have to pick a Disney one.
Okay.
I have several favourite Disney ones, though. I've just picked one.
So next question. What are some TV shows that you like?
Oh, I could only think of one.
Of all time.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's just awesome. It's funny. It deals with kind of real life issues and sort of things that you'd come across maybe growing up and coming into adulthood, but in a sort of supernatural way. And it's just really clever and really groundbreaking and still really fresh.
Number 2?
Oh, I'll just say Desperate Housewives because I love that show. I know you've watched a few episodes. You're like, I just don't understand why you like this. I just think it's really funny, and I just thought the storylines, like normally every season was kind of this overarching kind of mystery or something. I just thought they were always really fun, really interesting. I thought the writing was always really good. It made me sad that some of the women, like, I think they don't get on with Terry Hatcher, and they're all like friends on the show. That
number
makes
3?
me sad. What have we watched lately? I'm trying to think.
What have we watched lately? We watched all Scrubs.
No, that's not one of my favourite. I like it, but
I'm just answering the question. See, I'm better at interviews.
I know. I can't think. I've gone totally blank. I'll just say a new one. I don't know, just one I'm loving at the moment, which is The Handmaid's Tale. Even though it's just kind of gut punches me like every episode, and I sort of have to have a little break. It's just really good.
Okay, next question. As you're taking quite a long time on these.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if you want me to do like a little why or just say it.
A little bit, like a
Okay.
couple of lines. So far, you're just saying it because it's really good.
But that's why I like them.
Okay, so question number 3 is your favourite foods of all time. Can be a meal, can be a particular vegetable.
I love a burger. Just there's so many different things you can put on it. There's so much variety. It's basically like meat between bread, but it's different every time.
That's a perfect summary. Next question.
Okay.
Next answer. Even.
Again, I love ice cream just because you can just get it in all kinds of different flavors. And even though I haven't used it a lot lately, I have an ice cream maker, and you could just make up whatever the hell you want, and it's delicious.
So far, it's foods that can have as many variations as possible.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
Pick something that you can't vary.
Is it going to be like soup? Because you can have so many kinds of soup.
I love like a really nice like potato dauphinoise. Like,
oh yeah, that's a good answer.
That just came into my head. Just like side
For
dish.
those people who don't know what that is, explain it.
It's like really thinly sliced potato, and then you like put it in a roasting tin, and you put over like cream and garlic, sometimes cheese as well. It's not very good for you. It's like you take a potato and you just shove a load of cream on it and bake it, but it's delicious.
So that's all 3. What are your top favourite music artists of all time? Let's say 3 again, or as many as you can think of. Remember,
Ryan Adams
with the R.
With an R, not Brian. No disrespect to Brian, but I love Ryan.
Doesn't have to be a band, can be any kind of music artist.
Just say the Beatles. I know it's obvious, but they're legends. Say the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say Vampire Weekend as well, because they've come out with some like a couple new songs. There should be a new album soon. I'm really excited, and the new song, I bloody love it.
That's good.
It's so catchy. I love Vampire Weekend.
Okay, do you think that interview summed you up? Anyone?
That's a lot of my favourite things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Swap over to me.
You're turning the laptop in case I can't remember the questions.
So I'm just going to swing this
3 favourite films.
around.
Go.
My 3 favourite films?
Yep.
Oh, I'm allowed
Back to the
quite a
Future
long time,
Part 1. Back to the Future Part 2. Back to the Future Part 3.
For your information, my favourite film is Back to the Future Part 2.
Part 2, yeah, I know.
Do I have to say why?
Sure.
Well, I guess just the sci-fi time travel element. What would you do if you could go back? It's a sci-fi and time travel film that kind of has laws that it sticks by. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
You go back in time and then change something, and then that means the present is a different reality, but the other one exists. And Back to the Future just makes sense. It makes sense within its own universe, and I think it plays off some of like Einstein's theories of what he said time would be like if you could time travel. Number 2, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the only franchise that has a good film, a good comic, and a good video game. You can't say that for anything else.
Yeah, all right. Well, nothing's springing to mind. I'm not an expert
on these things. The
game
was fantastic. Like, just played off all the retro stuff, and the comic's obviously awesome. And the film was a really good adaptation.
Fair.
You get like Mortal Kombat, and then the film's horrible. Like, talking like 1 out of 10 on Rotten Tomatoes. And third favourite film would probably be maybe Rogue One. Star Wars Rogue One.
Really?
Yeah.
That high? That is a good film.
So just thinking of films that I like to sit down and watch without having to be like, have a reason.
Yeah, that is a really good film.
Yeah, okay, next question.
Top favourite or just ones you really like? Phrase that really weird. 3 favourite TV shows. Go.
I would have to say Angel.
Oh,
So
yeah, Angel is really good too.
I think we both grew up watching Buffy, but you kind of tagged on to the later seasons. By that point, I trailed off and I was well more onto Angel than Buffy.
Yeah, because I think when Buffy did first start, I was maybe a little young for it.
Probably like, I don't know, 7 or something like
Yeah, when did it start?
97.
Yeah, it was 5, so.
Okay, I think, yeah, that's about right.
Mm.
So, Angel, number 2, Fringe.
Oh, I forgot about Fringe. Yeah.
Absolutely love Fringe.
I want to watch all that again.
Would recommend it. I would try and put Lost in there, but I think for me, Fringe is above that.
Fair enough.
Because I think every season holds up as well.
Mm.
There's some stuff like Lost and Heroes that have really strong seasons, and then don't after that. And then my third one, I think I'll put it in more recent times. I'd probably say Better Call Saul.
Oh, I didn't think of that either. Better Call Saul is brilliant.
A lot of people dismiss it because it's, in air quotes, a spin-off, but
Oh, it's so good.
you know, having watched Breaking Bad from when it started airing to when it finished airing, and then watching Better Call Saul.
Oh, can I change one of mine? I've just thought of another one.
Go on.
Can I add on BoJack Horseman?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, those films that make you go, oh, so good. Or shows, rather.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Food. What
Well, you
food
stole
do
mine.
you love?
You know I'm a burger person.
Yeah, I know. I think I wasn't that bothered, like that into burgers until I met you, and then like just 40% of the time we eat burgers now.
Like you said, there's the base burger, and then it is like you say, every different combination. You get like really strange poppadom curry kind of based burgers, and then you get like donut burgers. The
donut burger I had, I didn't enjoy.
I think it's lazy when someone just adds bacon on top and goes, "Whoa, it's a new burger."
Yeah, because before I think you'd just have like cheese or bacon or both, and sometimes that is good enough if you've got like a really high quality burger. But then I just love that you can be like, oh, here's like a brioche bun. Like the buns are like enhanced. You get this like fancy sort of sweet bun, which I know isn't for everyone, but I quite enjoy it. And then there's always just different cheeses and different vegetables and salsas, and there's just so much, like you're saying.
That one you really like with the nachos like on top of it.
Oh,
it was kind of
GBK did it.
Mexican type burger, isn't it?
Yeah, so GBK, people that don't know, is like a British burger chain,
gourmet burger kitchen.
Gourmet burger kitchen, yeah.
So that's the other thing is you get tiers of burgers. So you get a fast food tier, which is like a very different beast to the restaurant gourmet burgers, which is more like, it's like, I don't know, almost like the way that people enjoy steak.
Mm.
It's like, I'm going for fancy food rather than I need a burger because I'm drunk. That's more fast food.
Yeah, because now like a McDonald's, like if I go to McDonald's now, I get a chicken burger. Like I'll have a beef burger, if I've been drinking. But if I'm sober, I have a chicken burger now because like.
Okay, we're on a burger. Next one.
Sorry, we should just do an episode about burgers.
The Burger Cast featuring Adam Denby.
We just rate different burgers. Oh my god, just go out and eat all the burgers we could.
Yeah.
Mm.
Next question.
Right. Well, another 2 foods.
I want to say avocado.
Oh, you are so into avocado lately. You're so hipster.
It might be a trending thing. You might talk to me in 2 years' time when I don't know what avocado is.
Like, do you really love it, or do you love the idea of it?
No, I really love it.
Like, because I like the fact that it's kind of, you can just sort of stick it on toast and it's kind of healthy and it's got a lot of protein and stuff. But like, actually like peeling it and getting it out, it's all slimy and then I have all this like green sludge on my hands. Like, I don't love it.
Yeah, I could say that about cooking a roast chicken though. Definitely the first time, a few times doing that, where you think this is like a carcass of an animal.
Lovely.
Oh, this is where it's like bones fit together. And then I think about someone pulling me apart like that. You know?
Yeah.
And then you think of the avocado and you just cut it and scoop it out. It's a lot easier to process.
What, are you saying you should be a vegetarian?
No, I have accepted that I enjoy meat and that I just assume I'm come from a long line of cavemen, meat eaters. And number 3? Ooh.
Another food.
Does cheeseburger count?
No, you've had burger. Something else.
I really like potato skins.
Oh yeah, where you like kind of scoop it out and you mix it with like some bacon and cheese and some chives and you stick it back in and you bake it. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Like a filled potato skin, yeah.
Okay, next question.
Music artists, bands / musicians / whatever.
So I think Blink-182
Okay.
as number one.
Okay.
Just you have to always remember your roots. And they, you know, learning to play guitar when I was a teenager, they put out some really simple songs. And if I'd started on Led Zeppelin, I probably would have given up because it's just not a strong entry. And they inspired so many different types of music that we still have today. And there wasn't really anything like them before it. So, number 2, Seaway.
Okay.
Another pop punk band.
Okay.
So they have a lot more inspiration from Weezer than, let's say, Sum 41.
Okay.
Yeah. And number 3, should I vary it or just keep going pop punk?
Doesn't matter.
I'm not ashamed of my pop punk.
No, don't be ashamed.
Strong genre, still going. Oh, Newfound Glory, obviously. There, if you're into pop punk, those are 3 bands that you should probably listen to. If you want more recommendations, you can follow me on Twitter and ask me lots of questions.
What's your Twitter? Is it? Do you say handle? Twitter.
Twitter handle is @CosmicOnion.
Cool. Get that dropped in now.
I think, yeah, that's the end of our first section. I think I answered that a lot quicker than you did.
Yeah. Soz.
There you go. So that is getting to know Adam and Sarah. Top things.
So now we're going to do hidden questions. Like, you're going to ask me stuff that I was not very prepared and answered slowly.
I told you what they were going to be.
Yeah, I had time to think about those and I still couldn't think of things. And now you're going to ask me things I don't know. I'm just going to have to say the first thing comes in my head and just hope it's not stupid.
We're on to the next segment of the show, which is Adam's hidden questions for Sarah. So she has no idea what questions I'm going to be asking her. They're not top favourite things. They're just weird, just to get a little bit of insight into Sarah's head. We might flip them round.
Don't go in there.
And then she can ask them to me afterwards, depending on how long she takes.
It might just be a lot of me going,
So you ready for number 1?
Sure, why not?
What would be your ideal way to spend the weekend? I think you've had lots of weekends in your time.
Yeah.
There should be at least one that was ideal.
Yeah, I think I like to have like one day doing something and then the other day sat about.
Which day? If you do the sat about one first, you go, oh, I wish I was doing something. You get a bit restless, don't you?
Yeah, I guess do something on the Saturday. So just like an activity, like, you know, just a nice walk, seeing some friends. Like last few times I've had sort of, I guess, girls' weekend with my friends. We've stopped kind of going out at night and we just go drinking in the day. And like last time we just did day drinking and bowling and that was really fun, going and bowling a bit tipsy. Or just like, you know, just going out for some really nice food. I love my food. I love going out to eat.
Do that any day though.
I know, but like on a weekend I can just, I guess, just drink more, take my time because I haven't got to think, oh, I've got to get up tomorrow. So
yeah, but it's way busier.
Do you want to know what I want or not?
Okay.
Let me answer my question.
So your ideal answer way was just eating some food.
No, like, I don't know, just going out and doing an activity like a nice walk with just good company. So like you or friends or family, just hanging out with people, doing something I enjoy, which is different things, you know. If it's a bad day, go do an indoor activity. We're just doing something nice, have some nice food, some nice drinks. And then Sunday, just like chill out, make a nice roast dinner and some pudding and just like watch TV and have a cuddle.
Okay. I was hoping for something a bit more specific than that.
More specific?
Yeah, it was just sort of very vague, like, well, have a nice time and see people and that, and then have a roast dinner.
Well, I like to just, you know, make something big on a Sunday that's a bit more effort because you got time.
But you just described our life.
Well, isn't that good?
Yeah.
I'm living my ideal life?
It is really good.
I'm basically saying that I'm happy. Is that okay?
Simple pleasure in life and is what will make you happy.
Or do you want me to say, oh, I wish I could, like, just...
I don't know. I thought you were going to say, like, jet skiing on the Saturday morning.
I don't want to jet ski.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Look, we learned an insight into your mind.
Well, I guess I would like to go, like, you know, maybe to a different city on a weekend, go away for the weekend, but you can't do that every weekend. You know, if we went to like London or popped over to Paris, that would be fun, but you can't do that every weekend.
No, but you get to pick one that's your ideal weekend. No, the question wasn't how do you spend every weekend of your life and what is sustainable.
I don't do that every weekend. Some weekends I go away. I just like to hang out with the people that I like, doing things that I like. Other people might be, or they spend all day out at work talking to people. So at the weekend they like to just sit in a room and like read and not talk to anyone and like recharge. Some people, that's ideal for them. I like to just go out and just be with people that I love.
Okay, do you want to know mine?
No. Playing video games.
That's part of it. So Saturday morning, go running in the park.
Okay. Well, if it's raining, home. What do you do?
No, this is ideal, so it isn't.
I see.
Come back, make some coffee, have a fish finger sandwich with fried egg and cheese on it.
Yep.
We'll maybe do like a cooking with Adam.
I forgot. Flight of the
Conchords, yeah.
That won't make sense to anyone listening, my train of thought.
Basically, I made a sandwich called the Brett and Jermaine, which are characters from Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah, so that's where I went in my head.
I haven't got halfway through to the afternoon yet.
Sorry, continue.
Then after that, have a shower and then play video games from, 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock. And then watch a film.
You said mine sounded dull. You're basically just sat on the sofa the whole day.
Well, I like to do that.
Fine.
But that doesn't happen. I'm telling you, our ideal.
Okay. Where do I feature in this?
You can just do whatever you like.
Am I just sat there?
You can do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy.
Okay.
And then on Sunday, go snowboarding.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, next question. What fad or trend do you hope comes back? Now, this doesn't have to be fashion. I think you thought it was fashion.
I know, but I thought of a fashion one though, because I think you mentioned this one as like a joke the other day, and I did actually go away and think about it. So I thought of a couple of things. Like I thought of like the flip phone.
Mm-hmm. Because you loved your flip phone.
It's just I had like the Motorola like Razr one. I had it in black. Yeah. I just really like the design.
I think we got it upstairs somewhere.
No.
Okay, I can get you one off eBay. That would make you happy.
No, I wouldn't use it. I think we were watching an old episode of like the American Office the other day, and like Jan, she had one, and I was like, oh, it's a cool phone. And then I remember maybe in like the early noughties, I don't know if they're called. I'd have to check. I think it's an Afghan coat. So it's kind of this. It'd be like beige, and it had all these like shaggy bits on it, and they kind of looked a bit boho. It's like coat.
Well, your birthday's coming up.
Well, I don't know. They're like trendy anymore. I mean, get one.
You can still wear it if they're not trendy.
Yeah, but I don't know if you can get one.
Do you want to know mine?
I guess.
Tamagotchis.
Okay.
That's the end.
I think you can still get them.
Yeah, but it's not a trend.
I guess.
Okay, question number 3.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best part of being British that non-British people don't know about?
I don't know right now.
Do you like being British?
Yeah, no, I do. At the moment, like, I don't know, I don't want to get all political, but...
I'm not being political. I just mean like, I don't know, a fast food chain that doesn't exist outside UK. Costa Coffee, I haven't seen one of those, and probably, I think they're English, I don't know. It could be that we love queuing for some reason.
We do a good queue. We are good at queuing. And just find it hilarious that, maybe not everybody, but, if someone like bumps into me, like I say sorry, it's just like an automatic thing, even though they've shoved me. Yeah, I like this country in general. And most people are nice.
That wasn't the question.
What was the question?
Something that's about being British that most people who aren't British aren't aware of.
Beans on toast is delicious.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think that's something people abroad are like, I might be wrong, but they're like, what is that?
I'm trying to describe like what beans were to a co-worker who was from Poland, and she just thought it was weird and disgusting.
I'm sure, didn't we go to like...
I was like, no, baked beans, they're baked beans, like Heinz baked beans. She just didn't know what I was talking about.
Maybe in America, they have, I I knew an American student once, and she was saying she didn't understand, like, we have like lamb and mint sauce, and like, to be honest, I don't really like traditional mint sauce. I find it a bit like vinegary, but I think she thought it was like the equivalent of sort of putting toothpaste on your lamb, and she was like, I don't understand like mint sauce with lamb.
Did she know what chocolate with mint was? Like mint choc chip or After Eight mints? Or...
Maybe, but I think maybe if it's something sweet, you can get your head around it more.
Oh God, no, I don't.
Mint.
If I try and think, we should do like top 10 things to eat with toothpaste. Like, what's the worst?
Orange juice.
And what's the best? Right? So, orange juice.
Maybe chocolate.
But orange juice is sweet.
It's like tangy.
I know. I'm just saying, I reckon like chicken would be fairly up there for me.
After toothpaste?
No, with toothpaste. Like, what's the worst thing? Okay, orange juice at the bottom.
I've not tried everything.
What's the
I tend to try not eat for a while.
best thing to eat after toothpaste?
Water.
I said eat.
Ice. I don't know. Nothing's particularly pleasant. You should probably just try and not eat for a bit after you've brushed your teeth. When people brush their teeth before they eat their breakfast. I don't get it.
Do a whole podcast about that. I don't get it.
Because you're cleaning your mouth and you're putting all the dirt on it. You want to put the dirt on it and then clean them.
Yeah, and what did you do before you cleaned it?
You clean them. Like, you clean them and then you slept and then you're immediately cleaning them again.
What, like,
but you haven't eaten anything yet. So that you haven't got them dirty.
So then you start your day...
probably a bit stale, but you're not...
You start your day by cleaning them, even though they are in the cleanest point of the day they could possibly be. Because the only other thing you did was clean them. Right? And then at the start of the day, you eat after that. So you're setting the entire day up to have food on them.
Yeah.
So that food that you eat for breakfast is on them the entire day. Okay, moving on.
That's not the question at all.
Can I answer this one? I was just going to say Bakewell tarts.
Oh, I hate Bakewell tarts.
I know, that's why you didn't answer that.
No.
Okay, next one. What is something that is really popular now, but in 5 years, everyone will look back on and be embarrassed by?
What, like I'm thinking of like a fashion thing.
It could be fashion, like when people used to wear out their bras in public, and that was just normal.
I did that one time.
Yeah, I might have to explain what.
There was a trend here for a while where...
What year? 2000 and...
I think I did it in like...
2012.
Yeah.
But it was, in fact, it was an old trend because we were watching an episode of Buffy.
Okay.
There was an episode of Buffy and she was doing it in like 97. And
yeah, well, fashions always come back round, don't they?
It does. But so this one, you kind of wear a bra and then it's almost like...
You got like a lacy top over it so you can see your bra through it.
And you don't just wear it down the post office. You wear it like at a club.
Out, yeah.
It's acceptable to... Well,
I wouldn't now. Like, if any of my bra is showing, I feel uncomfortable. I wonder about eyebrows.
Okay.
Because they change a lot. Because I remember... I look back at pictures of me in about 2012 and I've got these like lovely full natural eyelashes. And then I think that went out of fashion. And then I remember seeing pictures of me from about 2015 and they're thin and they're weird. And I think, I don't know if I don't know if that was the fashion then or I just went really wrong with the tweezers one day. I don't know. And then I started growing the back in. But now it's this thing where kind of the bit kind of, the bits that are like nearly touching each other, like above your nose, like be quite square. And like if I go get mine threaded, they do it like really square. It's like if you're going after the square thing, that's fine. I don't think it'll be something we're embarrassed about. I know I look back on when I had them really thin and they look weird, but maybe in 5 years' time, I'll look back on my eyebrows now and be like, what are they? Okay. Eyebrows are always changing.
I was going to say microtransactions.
Okay.
Next one. If you had to replace your hands with something other than hands, what would you choose and why? Don't say scissors. You're not allowed to say scissors.
Prosthetic hands?
Fine. I would say, yeah, okay, why? Because then they'd be like actual hands.
Because they'd be kind of like hands. Robot hands.
I was thinking like Inspector Gadget. Just like multiple, like buzzsaws and things.
Yeah. What a buzzsaw?
Or maybe, I don't know, some sort of USB port that I could just connect into video games and play them. And then I'd be like...
How do you play them?
I just connect right into the system and input commands using my brain.
Okay, we're not there yet, but yeah.
No. What annoys you most that no one else understands?
I know I was telling you yesterday Let's
go with that one.
Yeah, I think this would annoy.
Well, he didn't get it, right? Like he didn't. That didn't
well, he
annoy
didn't
him.
see me looking at him. I was sat opposite a guy on the train recently, and he was saying he was kind of a youngish guy, sort of had like a nice haircut, looked like he worked out, like a good looking guy, and he was just really digging around in his nose with his finger, like really going for it. And then like he had his headphones in, he was like watching something on his phone, and he was just like digging around, and I kept just trying to like look at him so he could awkwardly make eye contact with me and then be like, oh, I've been caught
realise what he was doing,
picking my nose, but he didn't. And then he like wiped it on his jeans, and then he was kind of like picking a spot that was emerging on his face and then putting his finger back in his nose. I think a lot of people would understand me being annoyed with that.
Yeah, well, you say that, but I see a lot of it.
Yeah,
so
just
it feels
people
like
picking facial like orifices on the train. I'm like, can we just not? Can we just keep our fingers out of our face, like out of holes in our face?
Is it
See
too
people
much
like
to
biting
ask?
their nose, putting their fingers in their ears. I'm like, this place is dirty enough. It's filthy, and we're all crammed in, breathing and coughing on each other. Can we just not put our fingers in our orifices? Can we just not?
So I would say for me is the little the leg waggle.
Oh, and people are sat and they're kind of like shaking the leg.
They shake their legs, and I immediately, if I enter a room with people and we're going to be sat around a table, I identify them straight away. they're shaking their legs, and it just doesn't stop. And I think I have, I don't know, really good peripheral vision. What if I'm trying to focus on something that's happening in front of me? I can't, because I see it in the corner of my eye. There's just this movement. Through our nature, we're supposed to be able, as predators, we're supposed to be able to catch things in the corners of our eye that alert us and that are happening, because we want to know that we're not in danger. But it's just triggering all the time, constantly with these people. But I went through a phase where I'd get on a train, and it didn't matter who it was, I'd be sat opposite some guy who's just wiggling his leg constantly, just really, really small, minute sort of vibrating.
Yeah.
Like, and just sit still. It's almost like they've, I don't know, drank too much Red Bull. Maybe energy drinks are the problem. Maybe everyone's drinking energy drinks and it's damaging us. Well, I did read into it that it's to do with anxiety and people being stressed. So maybe we're all stressed and we should just calm down a little bit. But part of that stress is because I keep seeing people wiggle their legs.
Yeah,
So
so people wiggle their legs because they're stressed, but then wiggling their legs makes you stressed.
Yes.
And it's just a
vicious cycle.
Yeah, and I get stressed watching people putting fingers in holes on the train. I was literally sat next to a guy once, and he was putting his finger in his ear, and then he was like looking at it to like inspect it, and he was sat, they're quite cramped, those seats. He was right next to me. I would feel so uncomfortable having someone like, sat, our legs kind of touching, and me just like picking at my ears. I just keep my fingers out.
We could do a whole podcast about this.
About commuting and how like miserable it is.
I think the podcast would be called I don't know what the solution is. Next one, okay. If you had a warning label, what would yours say?
Oh, I did this one for you as well. I think it'd be something along the lines of like, don't talk to me if I'm hungry. Like sometimes I get in the morning at work, and it might be like 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I take my breakfast to work, and just sometimes people just start speaking to me, asking me things, and I've walked for like 15 minutes, and I've been on a train where I'm maybe shoved into someone's armpit, and then I've walked another 15 minutes. I'm starving, I'm hot, and then people start like asking me things, and I'm like, I just need to go and like wash my hands and eat. Don't talk to me. And I know really you can't get into work and just be like, shh, to your boss. But I'm just sort of like, stop talking to me. So yeah, maybe if I'm hungry, just kind of don't expect too much.
Yeah. Maybe something about coffee.
Yeah.
I need coffee. Maybe my label.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the morning, yeah. You're not a delight until you've had your coffee.
Last one, if you were a superhero, what powers would you have?
Is flying boring?
Yeah, really boring.
But it would be cool to fly. That's why everyone says it. I wouldn't want to be invisible. I wouldn't want to read people's thoughts. I wouldn't want... Maybe shape-shifting would be cool.
You could commit crimes and then turn to someone else.
Yeah, but I feel like shape-shifting is often used for negative things. So maybe that wouldn't be cool. I guess, yeah, just something where you can contribute, something decent.
I might boring as well, but I think mine would have to be invisibility.
But then what do you use that for?
Like, just people leave me alone.
Just
Just have some peace and quiet.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, that brings us to the end of interviewing Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
So now Sarah's going to surprise some questions for me in this next segment. Off you go.
Right, your turn. I think we already kind of covered these. We've got some overlap.
Okay.
Okay, my first one was, what's something you could give a presentation on with like zero prep? So something you could just talk about for half an hour, just like something you geeky about.
I don't think Back to the Future are good.
No,
Because I know it inside and out, but it's just not one of those topics that you can start a presentation with. Is it?
why not?
Well, for one, I never remember the details of things, like the specific names, and I obviously know the main ones. I think I could definitely get, I mentioned it earlier, probably the state of the games industry in the last 5 years, let's say. Talking through the trends and important games, why they're innovative, like as an art form, as a business model, as a industry, all that kind of thing.
That's quite good.
Would it be interesting though?
Yeah. I would probably just go through, I really like this Disney film because no. But I also really like this Disney film because no. That'd probably be what mine is. But it wouldn't be a presentation as information, just be like, it's great because
I like it.
because I like it.
Go on, what could you do?
With
Anything.
no
I think
prep.
if I ask you anything, you just start rambling. You would just do that, couldn't you? Like guys on the trains picking their nose.
I could do a whole presentation about, like train etiquette.
Yeah, there you go.
It would basically be just me bitching about.
We should do a one-off podcast. It's just like a public service announcement about how
Don't pick your friggin' nose on the train.
How to behave on public transport.
Don't pick your nose.
That's the title.
Don't pick your nose.
No, how to behave on public transport.
Yeah.
Next one. We do it even when you're asking me questions. All you gotta do is read the next line.
I'm scared about this one in case there's any kids listening. How old were you when you learned that Santa is potentially not real?
Answer is real. Next one.
I've got the warning label one, which we've done. And then I've got, is there anything you wish would come back into fashion? So we've said Tamagotchi. So we've overlapped.
Well, fashion is in...
Yeah, but Tamagotchis can be in fashion.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be clothes.
Okay, but I already did mine.
Do you want to do a clothes one then?
Fashion, maybe like the 19th century cape.
Or you'd like a cape?
I think the cape, and the cane.
Okay.
It's a lot of like, you know when you watch Christmas Carol and they're wearing capes, but it's not, it's like over their coat.
Yay.
Do you think I could bring it back?
Sure.
If I just started wearing a cape, rock up at the weekend in a cape.
A little snazzy.
What about you?
I think they come in and out a bit. I think it is easier to get them now, but I'm not into like a stiletto heel. I like a wedge, but just sometimes you can only really get wedges in the summer. It's quite hard to get like a winter wedge, like kind of like a high heel kind of closed toe shoe that you could wear like in the colder months with a wedge heel. They go through phases. Like some years it's like quite easy there in fashion, and then they're not again. And it's just summery, sandally wedges. I like a wedge because they're just easier to walk. And I just think heels I don't like them. They just hurt and you can't balance. And I think I didn't wear them enough as a kind of teenage girl growing up. And now I'm scared to wear stilettos because I'm approaching like my 30s and it's like, who's that girl that can't walk in stilettos? And now I'm too scared. I can't go back now.
Well, your birthday's coming up. I'll buy you a wedge. Next question.
If you can.
Next one.
What is something other people are obsessed with, but you just like don't get why? So I can think of something I think you might say. I don't know if you'll say it.
Obsessed. So you can think of something that I can't?
Or maybe I thought of something that people are really into that you don't like, but maybe you do know why they like it. You just don't like it. So I was thinking of Game of Thrones. I think maybe you understand why people like Game of Thrones. You just are not into it.
I would have said it. In that case, like a lot of reality TV. Pretty much every single one. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, pretty much.
What about you?
I was thinking, I don't know if people are obsessed with it, but I know it's considered like a classic. We watched it not that long ago. It was the The Breakfast Club. And I just didn't get it. Like, I think I nearly fell asleep, and just all the characters were horrible. And then it was over, and I didn't appreciate it, and I'm sorry. Because I'm sure there's people listening like, "Woo, you talking about The Breakfast Club is amazing."
Maybe I'll put it on my list.
I don't want to watch it again. Okay. I can't be bothered. I was just so like, I love the song at the end. That's a tune.
I think had we done it in this club, you might have a lot more thought and insight into it.
Yeah, I would have to go watch it again.
And the context of that time in films and...
Yeah.
Next one? Tell me when we get to the last one.
This is the last one. What's something you've been meaning to try but haven't got to yet?
Yeah, tough one. Have you got an answer for this? Do I think of it while I'm stumped?
Oh, I've got one.
Go on.
I've been saying for years I want to try and read Lord of the Rings.
Okay, good luck with that.
So I love the films, and then you say to people, I love Lord of the Rings, I think they mean you've read the books as well, and I'm like, no, I just love the films.
Something I mean to try. It was really boring. I was going to say like Dead Cells on Switch.
Okay. That's fine.
But it's not really like a new experience. It's just a new thing of the things that I like.
Well, you said earlier about snowboarding.
Yeah,
you really want to take up snowboarding, don't you?
I did some skateboarding when I was a teenager. And there's also a lot of shows and a lot of films.
Yeah.
I could just say, oh, The Godfather.
Okay, yeah, those are my questions.
Yeah. Do you feel like that could be a reflection of me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I could have picked a better question.
Oh, that's fine. I enjoyed them. Okay, so our next segment, Sarah has prepared a nice little game, which is actually focused around films, which is to do with the podcast that we're actually doing. So that's good. What's the name of the game?
Currently, I'm calling it Best Film Ever.
Best film ever. So we're going to decide what the best film ever is.
In the next minute, we're going to decide what it is.
Just in under 1 minute. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So essentially, I've got a random list of films. I'm going to start with one. I'm going to tell Adam the first film, and then basically I'm going to start a minute timer, and then I'm going to say another film, and Adam has to tell me if it's better or worse than that first film. And if he says it's worse, then we stick with the original film. But if he says it's better, that's like the new one to compare the next one in the list to.
So, for example, if you give me Batman Begins and then say Inception, I'll go better. And then Inception is the new best. And then the next film, I have to say the same again.
Yeah.
Okay, until we reach the best film
And then at the end of the minute, whatever we land on
is the best film ever.
That is the best film ever.
Okay, I'm excited.
You ready? So the starting film is Aquaman.
Aquaman, excellent.
Yeah, you ready?
Start at the bottom, yeah?
It's supposed to be all right.
Go on.
That's the thing, because this is a random list. You might not have seen them.
If you just say film, and I'll say pass if I haven't seen it.
Or should I start on one you've seen then?
Aquaman's fine. Because it doesn't matter. We do this next one that you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you've seen the next one either. Okay. So your starting film is Aquaman. And go. The Fate of the Furious, better or worse?
Pass.
Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Better.
Bird Box.
Pass.
Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Oh.
The Last Jedi? Yes.
Worse.
The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Pass.
Penguins of Madagascar.
Oh. Worse.
Pulp Fiction, better or worse than The Last Jedi?
Oh, that's tough.
Come on, rapid.
Better.
Rapid. Better than The Last Jedi?
Better.
Okay. Justice League, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Worse.
Close, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Pass.
Ant-Man and the Wasp, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Worse.
Deathly Hallows Part 2, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Worse, way worse.
Avatar, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Oh God, so worse.
Miss Bala, better or worse than Pulp
Worse.
Fiction? Suspiria, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Pass.
Dracula Untold, better or worse than Pulp Fiction?
Worse.
Hotel, that is the timer.
That's the end. That's the timer. Okay, so we're
I didn't think you liked Pulp Fiction that much.
No, but best is such a loose term for everything, right? And I was trying to think of what's inspirational.
I didn't think you liked Tarantino films.
Right, no, don't get me wrong. Last Jedi is like is on my shelf, and I would go and watch it right now. And despite all the like divisive opinions of people, I absolutely love that film. It's amazing. Just maybe not the story, but everything else is fantastic. But Pulp Fiction, it doesn't have any whole, like, it's not maybe as flawed as you could critique The Last Jedi with. And Pulp Fiction is such a cult film. It does so many things which are, you know, inspirational and affect the film industry in that way. The Last Jedi is just, it's a great film on the tail end of a franchise which is already great.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so...
Can I have a go?
You can have a go.
I want to join in.
Okay. Have you seen this random list?
I think I saw the first one. Is it good?
It's pretty good, yeah.
Okay. What's my starting film?
This is a good list. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, what's my starter?
So, your starter film is Predator.
I've not seen that, but let's just go with it. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Go.
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Haven't seen it, but I'll just say better.
Better, okay. Holmes and Watson.
Worse.
Frozen.
Better.
Peppermint.
Pass.
Captain America Civil War.
Better.
Okay. Transformers The Last Night.
Worse.
Iron Man 1.
Worse.
Vice.
Worse. I haven't seen it.
Thor Ragnarok.
Better.
Better? Oh, okay. I.O.
Pass.
Once Upon a Deadpool.
Pass.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Pass.
Serenity.
Pass. I mean, worse.
The Imitation Game.
Worse.
Love of My Life.
Worse.
Fury.
Worse.
Replicas.
Worse.
Robin Hood.
Which one?
I don't know. It just says Robin Hood.
Worse.
Rampage.
Worse.
Call Me By Your Name.
Pass. Not seen it.
Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
Ooh.
Oh.
Better? No. Oh, I can't believe I did that.
No, time's up.
I should put that on my list. I love the first Pirates of the Caribbean
You
film.
do. I like that film too.
It's a good film.
So go on, why did Pirates of the Caribbean 1 surpass? Was it Thor Ragnarok?
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that's really true. I get it is a sense of like nostalgia for Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and just that performance from Johnny Depp when you first see it. It's just so, I think, a lot different from other stuff he'd done, and it's just such a fun film. And the whole, I think, just all the other films in the franchise just don't really hold up for me. But that first film was just so fun. But then Thor Ragnarok is so fun. Like, probably the funniest. I think there's still a couple of the Marvel, like MCU films I've not seen, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like, really funny.
But I think you've got Ragnarok in the middle of like 20 Marvel films that are all doing it. And despite whether or not those are really, really good, I kind of feel like Pirates of the Caribbean just came out of nowhere when it came out. Like, Keira Knightley was like, 17?
Yeah, she's dead young.
And it wasn't off the back of any like pirate trend or anything, was it?
No, it was the ride, wasn't it? Like, you go around a little boat.
Yeah, but I mean, in terms of the film industry, it's not like at the moment, what are DC doing? DC are,
trying to do an MCU.
Trying to do what Marvel are doing.
Yeah.
It's following what movies are doing.
Yeah.
Whereas Pirates of the Caribbean is just.
Were there any pirate films around that time?
Yeah, you got the Muppets Treasure Island.
That was a bit before.
Yeah, I know.
Quite a few years.
Quite a few years, and that's.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not really anything like it, and it's just so well told. I feel like that could translate into like a storybook quite well. You could read a pop-up book to a child, and it.
Well, it kind of like what I kind of loved is like you go on the ride at Disneyland or whatever, and there's bits because obviously the ride is sort of you got all like the what you call them, like figures in like these stills doing things, and then shots of that are like in the film, like the prisoners and the dog's got the keys and they're holding a bone and stuff, and like they put that in the film and just little bits, so it's kind of because that's kind of like you're going through a storybook because you're seeing all these mannequins and stuff, and then they put that in the film. So yeah, I agree with that. It's just
and
so
probably
fun.
the best film adapted from a ride.
Yeah, are there any others?
I don't know.
There's gonna be one with like Emily Blunt and The Rock, Jungle Cruise, I think, coming soon, a Disney one.
Cool.
That's based on a ride. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any others based on a ride. Haunted Mansion? Never seen that.
Okay, so
done
that's
now.
all we got time for our new game. We're trialing it out called, what's it called?
Best film ever.
So that's all for now. The best two films that are in existence are Pulp Fiction and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Curse of the Black Pearl.
And that's the end of our very first episode of the Good Vibes Film Club. I hope you had a lovely time. Did you have a lovely time, Sarah?
I did.
So will not be the same kind of format for the rest of the show, the shows that we do. This one's kind of a one-off, but I think we'll do more stuff like this in our bonus content if you enjoyed it. So if you would like to get to know us more, please listen to the rest of the episodes that we have lined up for the coming weeks. And also, if you'd like us to get to know you, then please write in to fanmail@goodvibesfilmclub.com. That's our email. You can address it to either me or Sarah. Tell us about your feedback. Tell us about what films you want us to watch. Remember, you're in our club and we want to listen to everything that you have to say because we're all in this together. Yeah.
Lovely.
You can also you can follow me on Twitter @CosmicOnion. I don't have any followers yet. So I just made it so if anyone wants to get in touch, they can.
I was about to say, I'll follow you, but I don't even have Twitter, so it's an empty gesture.
Maybe one day Sarah will get on Twitter. She's not there yet.
I'm not.
So the other thing that you can do is you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/goodvibesfilmclub. I'll put a link to it in the description. And you can access bonus content for $1 a month. We are not American, but $1 was the only currency I think you can put in. I'll find out. For that $1, we're hoping to bring you some bonus content. And obviously $1 goes a long way to paying off our microphones, our studio equipment, the editing costs, all the sounds and the lovely things that we do for you, and maybe even renting the films. So if you'd like to support us, then you can. But don't feel we're not going to cut you off if you don't. And obviously, the longer and the more you support us, the longer we'll keep going. So if you enjoy the content,
Which you may want or you may not want.
Yeah, you may not want it.
You might want it.
Send us negative money. Make us owe you money, in fact, if it's that bad. And please leave a review on iTunes. It really does go a long way to supporting us and get us through the charts to the top. We're going to number 1, right? And please tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your dog. Anything else I should tell?
Just whoever you wish.
Whoever you wish.
Your friends. Anyone you think that would just enjoy some nice chit chat about cinema.
Chit chat about films and such. Okay. And then, most importantly, the big bit of information we maybe should have opened with, but you need to know what films we're going to do next week.
Yeah, we said one of them earlier because it was one of my top films. So we're opening with a biggie.
So if you can, please watch along in between episodes with these two films.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is?
Yeah, so one of my favourites, Edward Scissorhands by Tim Burton is the director. So that's what you're going to talk about for me. And then what's yours?
Mine is Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Ooh.
By Robert Zemeckis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's correct.
Which I've never actually seen, so that's exciting.
So, I think that's all for now. We look forward to you joining our club.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening. And yeah, as Adam said, we welcome feedback. We're doing this for fun, sort of more chit chat, us doing something together. So any feedback you think we could improve or any films you want us to watch, yeah, let's look at it together.
That's all for now, and see you next time.
Bye. Downed my hot chocolate well fast.
You don't have to.
No, but it's going cold.
Ready?
Still, like, every time I have some of this hot chocolate, I like enjoy it, but I'm just disappointed.
It smells really nutty.
But it says it's got no nuts in it. How is it peanut butter hot chocolate when an ingredient is not nuts?
It does smell like nuts.
I don't know, maybe if I now went and just had a normal hot chocolate, it would taste different. Because this is what I've been drinking for like the last 2 weeks. Not like constantly. Not like 5 a day or something. Something.